Welcome to Unstoppable You Now, where we explore the deepest truths of human nature through stories of courage, resilience, and wisdom. Deep within an ancient, sprawling jungle, a lively troop of monkeys thrived by mastering the art of hunting for sweet fruits. Their survival depended on a single, unbreakable rule that bound them together. Everyone must be exactly the same to survive here. Amidst this uniform crowd lived a peculiar monkey named Koda, who felt completely out of place among his loud, energetic peers. While others fought aggressively for golden honey, Koda preferred the crunch of dry nuts and the simple taste of fresh grass. He watched them swing high in the canopy, wondering why he felt no desire to join their frantic race for sweetness. His differences did not go unnoticed for long, as whispers began to circulate through the leaves, carrying judgment and cold suspicion. The alpha male, strong and imposing, looked down with disdain, declaring that a monkey who refuses to compete is no monkey. Even his closest friends began to mock him, claiming his strange habits were an embarrassment to the dignity of the troop. They laughed cruelly, telling Koda he looked less like a primate and more like a grazing cow aimlessly chewing on grass. Desperate for acceptance, Koda forced himself to climb the highest trees, trembling with fear as he reached for the dangerous hives. He ate the honey despite his allergies, his body rejecting the sweetness, yet his heart aching for a shred of validation. But the harder he tried to please the demanding crowd, the more exhausted and empty he felt inside his weary soul. He was slowly losing his identity, becoming a hollow shell just to fit a mold that was never designed for him. Lying awake at night, Koda realized that the applause of others could never fill the deep void growing within his heart. Needing to escape the suffocating pressure, he wandered away from the noisy troop towards a quiet, secluded part of the forest. By a gentle stream, he found an old monkey living in solitude, whose eyes held the calm depth of ancient wisdom. With tears in his eyes, Koda asked the elder how he could possibly make the others stop hating him for being different. The old monkey smiled gently, looking at Koda with compassion, and prepared to share a truth that would change everything forever. He explained that whether others hate you is their emotional task to handle, and it is certainly not your burden to carry. You have only one true mission in this life: to live your own journey with absolute authenticity and unwavering inner honesty. Koda felt a heavy weight lift from his shoulders as he realized he did not exist to satisfy everyone else's expectations. He stopped looking up at the fruit trees and began focusing his attention on the ground, studying the dry, hard nuts. He discovered that, unlike the soft berries that rotted quickly, these hard nuts could be stored safely for very long periods. While the others feasted and played, Koda worked diligently, gathering piles of nuts and hiding them away in a dry hollow. The troop continued to whisper and point fingers, but Koda no longer felt the sharp sting of their judgment or mockery. He found peace in his own task, understanding that his value was defined by his actions, not by their fleeting opinions. Then, a harsh and unforgiving winter descended upon the jungle, freezing the honey hives and killing all the soft, sweet fruits. The once energetic troop grew weak and desperate, their ribs showing through their fur as hunger gnawed at their empty bellies. The alpha male looked helpless against the cold, and the silence of the forest was broken only by the wind's howl. Amidst the despair, Koda stepped forward from his shelter, carrying armfuls of the dry nuts he had spent months carefully collecting. He poured the food onto the snow, sharing his hard work with the very monkeys who had mocked him all summer. He did not do this to be praised, nor to apologize for who he was, but simply because he chose to help. Even as they ate, some monkeys mumbled that the nuts were too hard and certainly not as delicious as their usual berries. In the past, these words would have crushed him, but now, Koda simply cracked a nut and chewed it with satisfaction. He realized that true freedom begins the moment you stop fearing that you might disappoint the people around you in life. The winter snow eventually melted, but the change within Koda remained permanent, solid as the rocks and strong as the trees. You were not born into this world to be a carbon copy that pleases every single person who looks your way. The courage to be disliked is not about starting conflicts, but about having the strength to protect your own unique values. Do not let the loud noise of external judgment drown out the quiet, steady voice that guides you from within yourself. Like Koda, you may find that the path less traveled holds the resources needed to survive the hardest winters of life. Embrace your differences, for they are not flaws to be fixed, but unique strengths waiting to be discovered and utilized effectively. Stand tall in your own truth, focus on your own tasks, and let others handle the burden of their own opinions. Walk your path with confidence and grace, knowing that your authentic self is the greatest gift you can offer the world. Thank you for watching Unstoppable You. Now subscribe for more stories that empower your spirit. See you in the next video.